Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. It does have some important timelines that came up in the channeling today, so I would stay tuned. There's some pretty cool stuff that came up here that I don't normally get. I also just randomly got the Mercedes symbol, the circle cut into 3 parts, so that pi symbol was coming up today. So pi, also timeshares were coming up, and that could reference to how you're going to be splitting up your time, and also 3's coming up, being that today is the Queen of Wands, the 24, which is also Omega, and also the day adds up to 43, 7, which is the 3 of Cups. So 7, of course, is that quiet contemplation, time alone. It's the calm before the storm. It's that very spiritual number. And the 43 being of coming together in a very peaceful, spiritual way. The 24 is a 6, which is all about love, family, and community. It's that everyday, real love that we're talking about here, unconditional love, family love. The 24 of the Queen of Wands, the 3rd energy, the Omega, the end of karma as we know it. So all of those energies are coming up today. The Queen of Wands with the 3 of Cups, coming together, socializing, siblings, expressing yourself authentically. My mother was very much a Queen of Wands. She definitely knew how to express herself. She was, whether it was for good or for bad, she always knew how to express herself, but she also had a wonderful personality when she wasn't angry. So let's see, I did a quick poll for you guys as far as a card for each sign, so I'm going to give that to you and then get right into it because there's a lot of good stuff coming up here. So 8:33 this morning, as soon as I got up, I was getting, it's all about sex, baby. It's all about you and me. So that came up. And then 8:33 that was. So 33 was significant today because the read was also at 9:33. Then I was getting, come with me, my love, to the sea of love. So that was coming up as well. And that both of them came up again while I was doing the read. And then the 12 signs quick read, just a card for each. The Page of Wands came up in the underlying energy, along with inspired sharing, grounding and integrating, love offered, and then stressing out about it. So that was kind of funny. 6 Pentacles, 4 Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Swords came up for that underlying energy. Aries got the World, which was reversed in this read. Taurus, King of Cups, upright. Gemini, 5 of Swords, reversed. Cancer, 5 of Cups, upright. Leo, Devil, reversed. Virgo got the Ace of Wands, reversed. Libra got the 10 of Swords, reversed. Scorpio got the Sun, upright. That was probably the best one. Sagittarius got 6 of Wands, which I believe was reversed in the read. I have to double check that. Capricorn, 3 of Swords, was reversed, so healing there. And then Aquarius, Justice reversed, Injustice for Aquarius. And then Pisces was 4 of Wands, upright. So that was good too. There's some good water energy, obviously, here. Cancer may just be struggling still with letting go of the 3rd baton to go to the 4th baton because we're coming out of Cancer now into Leo. So at 9:06, and I had heard a song and then I forgot it before I wrote it down. So I'm like, okay, if I'm supposed to know, I'll find out later. But I wrote down that I just lost it. So somebody did just lose it because then I got flipped out when the spirituality card flipped out from the numerology deck. I cut the Syrian Starseed deck, the main deck for the read today at 9:09. So 9:09 was definitely significant with compassion down on the table. At 9:13, which are both ending numbers, 9 is endings, 13 is the death card. Spirituality flipped out from the numerology deck first. That's number 77, which was important. There was tons of 7s that came up yesterday, including a read I did for myself last night. Literally the numbers within the read came up 77171. So it was a really big deal. Then leadership 81, completion number 9, and compassion 99 came up. And there was some upper back stress this morning. I'm not particularly feeling anything, overwhelming. I'm not getting the heart or solar plexus stress that we do some days. So, and more as it's more excitement energy right now, which can be construed as anxiety, but we're looking at the positive here. But there's that little bit of excitement. That's how I would describe the energy right now. 9:33 this morning was the Divine Masculine read for the Twin Flames. 9:33, 33 is the Christ vibration, that 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself without being defensive, walking away if you need to. And the major arcana for the masculines today were abundance, which is like the Empress card, karma, like judgment, divine justice is justice, and then guidance, which is like the Hierophant card. Before the read, the shadow or devil and the starseed or fool came up, and then after the read, we had the indigo and ascension, which is the magician and the world. All of those, except for karma and guidance, were reversed. Okay, so the Hierophant and justice energy, or judgment energies, were upright. There were 3 pentacles, 2 swords, 1 cup, 1 wand. So heavy on the pentacles, so all about work or practical issues of daily life. And the only court card that came up in the main cards, the big ones of the Sirian Starseed deck, were the Queen of Pentacles, and she is reversed today. So there's a lot of reverse cards that I've described so far, but it wasn't a negative read, so bear with me. Before the read, the 9 of Pentacles came up, so definitely that can be a sovereign, it can be a child, teenager, 20s, that kind of thing. And then after the read, the Knight of Swords came up, which was upright. The numbers in coding were all about spirituality and completion. The numbers, the code line was just the number 6, so all about love and lovers, so that was beautiful there. Then the other numbers that came up with the coding were 55, 66, 55 is the Ace of Swords, truth, 66 is that Queen of Pentacles, 56 is the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing, 25 is the Knight of Wands, that passionate energy, you know, a movement, going out, running around, doing errands, but also can be someone passionately coming in for some romance there. So 69 is the Ace of Pentacles, so that new life, maybe an offer of money or job or loan. Definitely, though, can be a start of a new life. Then 910, begin again, came up as well. And 3211, 32 is the 6 of Wands, and 11 is the Justice card. They were both reversed today. So the code line that is all about spirituality and completion was very simple today. It just said 6, and then I had a symbol of the 0 with the line through a quarter of it probably, and then abundance and guidance, or Gita, actually an abbreviation for that. So it's about 6 weeks there's something about 6 weeks in the Empress or the mother energy, that can be Gaia as well, and transmutation with guidance, which is the Hierophant. So that can be a Taurus person, or it can have to do with marriage, but anything, any kind of contracts, commitments, establishment, religion, church, traditional, the old way of doing things, the patriarchy, anything like that can come up here with that. But there's something about the 6 weeks that was important between the Empress and the Hierophant. So that can just be a lot of Taurus energy. All right, because Empress and the Hierophant are both Taurus for me. 9-9 came up, because that's about 6 weeks from now. So of course that portal comes up, and you can figure out what exactly 6 weeks is for you. I don't think it was exactly 9-9, but it comes up around there. And I was guided to write it down since we've gotten 9-9 several times in this read. It could be that somebody that you know is getting married in 6 weeks, that you're going to a wedding. It could be your own. 6 weeks abundance with the Empress and the Taurus. They're both Tauruses, the Hierophant, marriage. But also it's just about commitments and contracts, that kind of thing. The lovers of the new moon, abundant marriage of Empress or Hierophant. The 9 of Pentacles, sovereign. The divine feminine, though that says I'm getting into the read. Yeah, so take the information from that as you get it, because we have the abundance and the guidance cards, and it's all about the dance, right? Because you have abundance, which is transmutation, A-B-U-N, dance. B-U-N is an indicator of renal function. So it's about transmutation of the physical body, the abundance, and then the guide dance, following your guidance of the 6, of the lovers, of just love in general. But also we have that divided circle, which has to do with pi, but it's off center. So centering yourself, but also 1 week was coming up, so 6 weeks. So it starts out, you see there, with the 9 of Pentacles there, as the underlying energy. And that was reversed. Okay, so it could be feeling powerless as we change into these new energies. I'm going to show you this bottom card here. That was the shadow. This is the starseed, so like the Fool and the Devil. And then this is the 6 of Swords, which was upright. And then the top card here is that 9 of Pentacles, which is reversed today. So that sovereign energy reversed, maybe no longer wanting to be single. So it doesn't have to be powerless, but you can feel powerless when you don't want to be alone anymore. The divine feminine lover, frustrated, was shedding light on all of that stuff. Okay, so getting to a frustration point. The shadow and the star seed, all about sex, baby. And then Sea of Love came up again, all right? Wanting to come to a peaceful place. Detoxing the shadow. Not quite at that the star seed was the Fool, reversed, okay? So normally it would be a fresh new start, but it's reversed. So you may have had to fall first, or you may be planning the new start, but it's not quite there yet. Don't have it all quite together, trying to find that peaceful place. We have it there, the peace. Capricorn and Aries came up with a lusty new start, fresh beginning, moving into a peaceful place. So maybe there needs to be this peaceful place set up before the masculine can come forward, and vice versa for the feminine. After the lovers frustrating being alone with their own light. Okay, so that's kind of like the premise of what's coming up here. Then it's 10:01 to 10:02 as I turn the page. 10:01 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician, and then 2 is High Priestess, so it's very magical energy. Expressing feelings held back, knowing the Emperor is moving to peace with the Sovereign, or the feminine, can be a child they're dealing with as well, but knowing that he's coming, when you're in your knowing, you should know, because you're feeling it. You see these cards every day, and they've all been the same, going forward, forward, forward. We fall back a little bit, and then we go forward, but that's the energetic way, with the retrogrades and just the energetic loops. Just knowing he's coming, having faith and patience. Greens to browns were coming up. Medical greens, MASH unit greens, illness, mucous membrane, coughing up crap. Recovering from cold or flu. And the number 28 also came up, which has to do with the twins. The 2 of Wands, choosing a path. Viruses coming up. That it's been a rocky road. Ice cream and tonsillitis. And that actually tonsillitis, not tonsillitis, but the tonsils came up yesterday as well. So there's definitely something about those kind of issues. Viruses needing to be cleansed from the body, and transmutation of the physical body came up as well. So that's definitely true. So keeping your feelers out, and for any new communications from a health platform, someone retiring from it, or taking their abilities and intellectual property to a more calm and peaceful place. Rock solid or stone solid base with organic interiors, natural exterior, moss, molehills, blanketing astroturf, putting down sod to fill in the gaps, patchwork, putting the quilt, the pieces of the puzzle together, figuring it out one step at a time, turning Cinderella and her shack into a princess at her pretty little castle. The king has allowed the prince to go in search of the fool that fits the glass slipper with rubies on it, sapphires, emeralds, and tanzanite too. Princesses like rich pastels as opposed to primary colors. The Knight of Swords rushes in, the knight in shining armor, to make dreams come true, bringing your wish, telling you he's dumped all attachments no longer for his highest good, and feels powerless without you, dear maiden, and you he. The wizard has decided to come out from behind the iron curtain to see what's still standing after the war is over. The aftermath of destruction, now being more realistic about outcomes than before, happy with himself, enough time to give the divine feminine a hand to get up. So him wanting to come forward to give a hand to the feminine and help her up. So trust comes up. Trust, baby. It's all about you and me. So that was coming up again in that way. Honeymoon was beneath the trust, so that's definitely getting away to a peaceful place, maybe to go away and get to know each other and really learn to trust. It's all about trust, baby. It's all about you and me. Going away together to build trust. A team building mission, but make sure it's not about being one of his employees, right? This is about learning to trust each other, intimacy, okay? Don't make it about having control over one another. That's exactly what it wouldn't be. But old-fashioned romance and violin come up, as well as the olive branch, as well as blueberry branches, to get past the twisted pillars and mirrored luxury fantasies to see what I see in you. So maybe the masculine wanting you to experience some of the things he does so that you can see you the way he sees you. merry-go-round, round, round, round. 3 rounds, 5, 10, 13, 15, and 18. The difference between X111 or 13 and XV111 or 15 is V, because there's no V in the X111. V is creation, being open to expand. 10X. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and X is the feminine. So those are those energies that revolve around the X. The divine feminine destiny. She has the power to make or break it. She holds the V. She holds the power, because the divine masculine knows 3 strikes, you're out. XXX. Third female is the charm. Getting off the ride for good before vomiting, i.e., knowing what's good for you before it's too late. Circles and patterns may feel safe when you're little, but once you know your true colors, abstracts work much better. More freeing, outside the box. Even if you just like solids, the expression of that color can be like no other. And that was at 10:35. 10 again is the Wheel of Fortune. 35 is the Wounded Warrior, the Mary Magdalene energy. Strumming my pain with his fingers. That came up as the record scratches. Third party enters. Interference called. Foul play. Referee. Mediator. But who pays their salary? Preferential treatment. Paid officials. Do they owe someone a favor? I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Debts come due. Will you concede or reveal the truth? If you did someone an honest favor, do they owe you a lie? I think not. Be loyal. Make sure to love yourself first, people. If you owe somebody something, that doesn't mean you owe them to lie and be disloyal to yourself. Separation and heartbreak. Third parties to help you see what the other wasn't revealing. But also, when you do that, it reveals what you are hiding too. Beware of that. When the shadows are lit up, all are affected, and all affiliated with wrongdoing by association will get called out on it too. Who are your friends? Do you even know? Do you want that dysfunctional family to let you back in after kicking you out? Feel before you jump, like that leap down the Black Diamond Hill. Does it feel right? Are the winds harsh? Or is the sun bright, inspiring you? Or is it blinding you to the snowplow that you're going to hit if you go right out of the gate? The dark night is healing without dysfunctional family, with full power of the sun and the moon in full view, full light before waning fully on July 31st, which is the new moon. The new moon, remember that the full moon was partially eclipsed. The false light was interrupted midstream, knocking it off guard, okay, so that the truth could get out. Today is 7 days from that full moon. It's been 1 week from 717. 2 chariots with a magician between. Illusionist, horses, wear blinders, unaware of his interference. So think about that, 2 chariots racing side by side down the highway, and then you have this magician who comes right in between you, right? The illusionist, the manipulator. The horses are unaware physically because they have blinders on, but they feel it. They're very instinctual. So if they're unaware of the interference coming through, coming up from behind, manipulation until it's too late, unless they use their intuition, which horses do, and get off that track calmly and without fear, never doing sudden jerks, right? Because that may cause problems too. Or the trek to no longer align with the sneaky little shit. Okay, so again, the horses are naturally intuitive here. But if they're unaware of this interference coming up from behind, the manipulation until it's too late, unless they use their intuition, which horses do, and get off the track calmly without fear, or a trek to no longer align with the sneaky little shit. Always go carefully and slowly. Don't show fear. And that's why animals freak out, because you show fear and you don't need to, right? You need to resonate with them. The motorcyclist that cuts between cars right on the line, if the car drivers don't use their instincts, they may change lanes quickly, hitting the motorcyclist, who, if they live, may have done it on purpose to trigger you into reacting so they can sue you for reckless driving. Or did the driver swerve into the biker because they were irritated with them in order to intimidate them and cause them to crash? My brother actually flipped off a nasty, aggressive driver who then pulled in front of him and slammed on the brakes. He was thrown from the car, and the bad guy took off, never found. Was it worth the satisfaction of sign language? Are you deaf, dumb, and blind just to be right? Some people get hit because it's the only way to get through their thick skull, their stubbornness, to a fault. Condescending attitudes or sound advice. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And seeing a new positive perspective. And that was at 11:04. Justice and the Emperor needing to have control over everything might get you into trouble. So as we turn the page, again, we have the Justice and the Emperor. And remember that the Emperor's upright today, but the Justice was reversed. So there's injustice with the Emperor. Even if you're right, if you come off as controlling, you may get pulled into the situation. Take the higher ground. Be the better person. Let it go. Don't let someone affect you that way. It's not your truth, so why make it so? So the next full moon is 8:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 12:29 UTC. And that's August 15th. That's called the Sturgeon Moon. Recovering without going back to dysfunctional financial ties to transform fully. Finding the pearl. Discoveries while alone, while others are off partying and drinking. This is the masculine. He's birthing something new, a rebirthing, siphoning sand, gas, money, energy, and time. Like the sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Cut out the crap from your life. Only keep what you love and adore. Why would you surround yourself with anything less? Create energetic bliss. Look, hold, feel each thing or person to confirm what's real or not. Does your body fall into it or does it fall away from it? You can test that out with food as well. Keep the best and toss the rest. Retrogrades are a great time to go back and revisit or clean things out. But this is also to move forward. It's not to go back to what the old was. Heal and forgive. Transform, completing, compassionately. Night is for relaxing and sleeping. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Exhaustion will creep up, and you may be pushed back down to sleep even more for a reason, so allow. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. Okay, so that's coming up as well. The Grim Reaper may come with long hair, a bow, a scythe, or a 90-degree angle. So make sure you know what kind of angle he's coming in at, because that's a square. Walking stick, death walking. Emaciated, anorexia. So now this is these are all wounds that are coming up during this reading. There's a whole bunch of stuff, so pay attention to that. Killing me softly with his words, with his song. All right, so words can hurt because that's what happens with bulimia and anorexia. The men who have rejected them, they've felt unworthy, so they started hurting themselves, okay? So they become anorexic. So it's bringing up those wounds to clear. Romantic manipulation to bed someone can literally kill them. Not good enough for the carrot dangling. Confident people don't have time to dangle, so don't bother with them. That's manipulation. Turn it back on them. Allow them a taste of their own medicine without doing a thing, just allowing yourself to be happy. Happiness is always the best revenge and medicine. Allow the speaker, or the speaker, that could be as well, but allow the speeder, right, on the highway to go around you and right out of your life. I'd rather the speeder who comes right in fast and then leaves just as quickly than the slow one who's afraid to drive, who is always the one who causes the accidents. So this speeder going through and then leaving just as quickly, it is their issue, not yours. They need to learn to slow down and know their worth. Cut the dross. 3 strikes, you're out because you break the pattern. If they return changed, then the cycle starts over again. So it's a clean slate. Don't take more than 3 chances with the same old crap, the patterns. Show your toes. That reflects if one loves themselves. Have they stopped long enough to see their own feet? The window to the body. The head and the crown is the window to the etheric realms. And then the song that I couldn't remember earlier came up here because the heart is the window to the soul. The eyes, the third eye, the window to the eyes, the window to the third eye. So heart and soul came up as important here. Heart and soul. I wrote down some of the lyrics too because I couldn't remember. Heart and Soul was from 1938. That's the Sun, and 38 is the Queen of Cups. Hoagie Carmichael and Frank Loesser was the lyricist. Performed by Larry Clinton Orchestra. Vocals by B. Wayne or Wynn. And that at 1939, which is the Knight of Cups, 3 versions reached the charts. Okay, so the Clinton version was number 1 in 1939. So now we have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which is very much about the masculine and the feminine. And this stuff came up from en.m.wikipedia.org. So the Clinton version was number 1. Then number 12 was the Eddie Duchin, or Dutchin, I'm not sure he pronounces his name, version. And then the Al Donahue version was number 16. So we have the 1 of the Magician, the 12 of the Hangman, and the 16 of the Tower here, Al Donahue. Then some random things in other years. 4 Aces were number 11 in 1952. 52 is that Queen of Swords. And then Johnny Maddox was number 57, which is the 3 of Swords, in 1956. 56 is the 2 of Swords. But then the big one, the Cleftones, was number 18 on the charts, and that was July 3rd, which was so weird how Spirit does this stuff. But July 3rd is the day after I met my twin. It was number 18, which is my birthday, but it's also the moon, in 1961, and that's the year I was born. So the Cleftones, 1961. Jan and Dean were number 25, and then Play That Song by Train was number 41 in 2016. So the Tower comes up again. The one from the Cleftones in 1961 was the Billboard Hot 100, and also number 10 on the R&B Hot 100. So the Cleftones. So the clef is the bass notes, the bass tones. So that's coming up here as significant. Bass tones and the moon, right? Because we have 18 here. So as I turn the page, also 1999 came up because Dave Marsh listed the Cleftones as number 913, which is the time of the read. 9 is the ending, death, not death, but the Hermit. But it's endings, completion, and 13 is the death card. So the same exact number came up as Cleftones from this book randomly, which we'd never normally look at. So the read wasn't done at 913, but when spirituality flipped out, that 77, that was 913. So here's the 913 again. The book was The Heart of Rock and Soul, the 1001 greatest singles ever made. So Heart and Soul came up as 39, 38, and 39. 38 is the Queen of Cups, the heart, and the soul, or the high heart, is the 39 of the Divine Masculine, the Knight of Cups. I fell in love with you, heart and soul, the way a fool would do madly, because you held me tight. I don't know if I'm doing the right verse, but anyways, because you held me tight and stole a kiss in the night, now I see what one embrace can do. Look at me. It's got me loving you madly. That little kiss you stole held all my heart and soul. Okay, so that was coming up. Before I continue, I'm going to tell you the position of the signs and the court cards here. The Emperor was upright. The Empress reversed today. The Kings were all upright except for the King of Swords, which was reversed. But he was actually in kind of the afternote at the top there, so he wasn't really that significant in the read. So all the other kings were upright. The queens, I'm going to tell you which ones were upright today, okay? The Queen of Wands was upright and the Queen of Swords. The others reversed. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords were upright. The others reversed. So those sign-wise were the same. The Queen and the Knight of Wands and the Queen and the Knight of Swords were upright. The other 4 were reversed. Of the pages, the only one upright was the Page of Wands. The signs for everyone. So if I say upright and reverse, that means there's either 2 of that sign or they're showing both the positive and negative aspects of that energy. So the ones that were both upright and reversed were Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, Gemini, Aries, But really, Virgo and Libra's reverse really was very minor. It was more upright. And where else? Gemini was just a little bit reversed too. Gemini, Virgo, and Libra, it was really more positive than reversed. So I kind of question whether that was both directions. It was mostly positive energy. But let's see. So they're all upright and reversed except for Scorpio was very upright and Leo was very much upright. Sagittarius was reversed. Okay, so Sagittarius was the only one today that was solely reversed energy. So you might want to stay away from that energy. Of the aces, the only one that was upright today was the Ace of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, or that family card, was reversed. The Ten of Cups was upright, but that could be the sham fam as well. It could be artificial happiness on the outside. Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords were both reversed, which is great because that means the worst is over for sure. And confessions have been made. So the Queen of Cups of the 38 of the heart and the Knight of Cups the 39 of the high heart. And then we get into the read again with the love being the 6, love, family, and community. And beneath the love card in the numerology deck was environment, which is green, 44. Make sure you master your environment. Make it green, organic. Grounding and integrating. Spending time out in nature. The 6 and the 44. Practical love, real love. Sustaining love, love that lasts. Sweet, kind, compassionate love. The Queen of Cups reversed, crying and longing in the night, pining while ghosted, or thief in the night, unable to share by day, since with unbalanced Queen of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded, losing money. The thief steals the heart and soul by night, and practical life by day, or emotional manipulation by night, and financial manipulation by day, loss of everything due to the false light, giving too much, others take, allowing others to howl at the moon while you stay lonely. The Divine Masculine not really howling with them, just pretending to fit in. Watch out for signs, sign language, what fingers do, or in other words, a tell, a code between you and yourself when you're lying or hiding something. So remember about the tells, look out for them. That's what you're being guided to do. For example, a yawn, or somebody looks away when they're not really telling the truth, they're lying or hiding something. What do their hands do? What do their fingers do or play? So ask someone you know something that they know they're going to have to lie to you about or tell the truth, so you can see the difference in how their body reacts to things. Their tell. 2 swords always left behind to identify the truth. So this is what Spirit's saying. When there's been a theft or a lie or some cheating situation, there are always clues left behind. There's always evidence. Footprints, noises, locks tampered with, and you may have all experienced some of this during this journey. Sneaky kids, leaving the lids open, or a gate left open, letting the dog out. Who let the dogs out? So that's coming up again. While giving to others, and the Queen of Cups reversed, pining, or can be manipulative as well. So whenever someone's insecure or hurt, they can have a tendency to be manipulative. That's just human nature. The Queen of Pentacles reversed has been up to no good, mimicking the Divine Feminine, Emerald Order, seizing or stealing her property for profit or spell work or both. Not to mention eggings, dead birds, and feathers left on your front lawn, and destruction to entrance steps in general to your property. Vengeful lady she is. Don't put breaking and entering past her, stealing, planting bugs, and bugs that sting in your house, even by spells. Sapphire clues of truth, fingerprints on the front door handle. Show-offs, conceited, always want their work to be known. The karmic and her minions, or PI for hire, all coming up now, or in the past returning to the scene of the crime to clean up. All right, so that could be clean up their evidence or to clean up and correct their mistakes. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, and this is not said to you to put you into fear. It's to, make you aware. Just see what's right in front of you. What have you noticed that was odd? And you know you have. If you see the evidence, then it's probably true. Don't get it from your headspace. You get it from your feeling, because your heart doesn't lie and your head always does. This is the whole point of training yourself how to know. The Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed can be a mother and daughter team, or 2 sisters forced to apologize by the Divine Masculine, or the Divine Masculine forces himself to come. Twins mirror Whatever affects one affects the other, and both are drained practically, or just feeling powerless, or both not wanting to be single anymore. 1206 comes up here. 12 is the hangman and 6 is the lovers. And remember, Jesus was a hanged man. So that's all about our template of the Jesus and Mary Magdalene. 1206 as we turn the page, trust at the full moon. And again, remember, this is July 24th today. 18 is the moon. 3 times, remember, 3x, 3 strikes you're out. At the full moon, false light. 18 minus 3, and these were just numbers coming up from the cards that I was reading. 18 minus 3 strikes is 15, which brings you back to the devil. And the 15th is the full moon next month. So I was getting the significant dates around the full moon, the 10th to the 13th, the 13th to the 15th, and then to the 18th, around Lionsgate. So this is all past Lionsgate, but it's the full moon. So it's very significant. There's different waves coming in, but they all connect to each other. We have the 10th to the 13th, 13th to the 15th, and then the 15th to the 18th. It's a huge time posting for 8/8 Lionsgate, because they're saying the floodgates are open at that point. Everything gets out. All right, so this is all secrets are out by 8/8. And love is the answer, number 6. Love is the answer, number 6. By 6s, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78, 84, 90. All right, you see the pattern here? 30, 60, 90. 3 strikes, you're out. 30, 60, 90, 3, 6, 9, 3D, 4D, 5D, 3 X's, and you're out of there. X marks the spot. So some of you may know a mark, but X marks the spot. 3 lines down and a question mark, with a pinch and a squeeze and a tropical breeze. Bloody Marys, Bloody Marys, Bloody Marys, gotcha. So, going on a treasure hunt. X marks the spot. XXX equals 30, right? Because X's are 10s. 30 times 12 of the hangman, or the end of time as we know it, because 12 is the end of the cycle. 30 times 12 is 360, the full circle. The year, minus 5 days. But the 360 becomes the 9, the 369, because you add to the 0 of 60 a tail to make connection. So 360 becomes 369 when connection to the next cycle, okay? Because 360, why did I write 9? Oh, 369, not the year, but the 369 of the 45D60. So this big energetic information about the 369 and how it works and what it means, okay? So you bring in the 9 with the connection to the next cycle. That's why 9 is of the endings, because it needs the 0 of the human embodiment of source energy grows a tail because it wants to connect, that ion energy, okay? Activating to connect. 30 lashes, 30 days. 30 means you're old, right? When you're past 30. So be new again. Go out and play. Remember when you're young that being grounded at home meant that you were punished. Okay, so the 4 of Wands came up here. 30 is the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, 30, meant you were old. It means a punishment because you had to stay home instead of go out and play when you're young. So it's telling you what it means to be young. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with your frame of mind and your spirit and the ability to play. So going on a treasure hunt, X marks the spot. The cards were the Death card and the Devil card were coming up in this one spot. So we had X111, and we have going on a treasure hunt. X marks the spot. 3 lines down. It's just literally telling you the Death card, X111. 3 lines down and a question mark. So we had 13 or death, and then the crowning moment is the question mark, because the question mark is the lowercase I upside down. It's the chakra column with the 3rd eye, with a hook upside down by hanging. Death by hanging, the hangman, with 1 leg bent, or hooked to a tree, breaking things up a little bit. New perspectives, catching a breeze, stretching the knees so they don't seize up on you. Keep moving. All right, so all this stuff was, you know, it's Jesus hanging on the cross, but we're talking about the wise man hangs upside down to see a new perspective. And death by hanging was coming up here. Keep moving. Oz never did give nothing to the Tin Man that he didn't already have. Okay, so cause never was the reason for the evening or the Tropic of Sir Galahad. So please believe in me, is the masculine talking to you. All right, this is Jesus' template of the Jesus and Mary Magdalene templating of the twins. Going on a treasure hunt is Jesus hanging on a cross. The X that marks the spot, the divine feminine, and then the 3 lines down of the 369, the 3D, 4D, 5D, and the bridging to cross. The death, the 13, is the connection after the cycle's over, because in numerology, 1 through 9 are the main numbers, and then the exalted numbers are 10, 11, 12. 12 is the ending, the end of karma, because there is no real ending. When we die, we just go to a different dimension. So 13 is that connection. All right, it is not death, it's connection to another dimension. So that's why it's so important that we're switching here from the 12 idea of life to the 13, the connection. We're not only connecting within our own realm here on Earth, but we're learning to connect to other galaxies, other cultures beyond our world. So this is what we're about. You know, we're supposed to get the word out there. How can we come together with other galactic beings when we can't even get along with our own race, okay? So please believe in me, is the masculine telling the feminine. Please believe in me when I say I'm spinning round, 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 round. Smoke, glass, stain, bright color. Image going down, 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 down. Soap suds green like bubbles, okay? So we're talking about green again, about living green and being in a bubble, right? That bubble love. He's talking about the bright colors that I just described on the other page. You know, you don't have to be patterns. You can just be one bright color, but how beautiful is the description of that color? Can you even describe it? And being round, you know, going around in circles and never being able to break out of that bubble. Well, the night, you know, comes up about Sir Galahad, knight of King Arthur's Round Table, and one of the 3 achievers of the Holy Grail in Arthurian legend, as I lose my voice. Because of chivalry and being a gentleman, they don't always speak their voice if they're shy, right? And I lose my voice, they get scared because they want to make a good impression. My voice is so funny right now. So this is coming up from en.wikipedia.org, and then the next thing comes from answers.yahoo.com, which has to do with why the tropics come up for Sir Galahad. Well, phototropic is searching for the light. He was celibate and trustworthy and looking for the light. He was a gentleman. He wanted real love, okay? So then 13, I wrote down 30 times 13, since we're switching from the 30 times 12 of the 360 world to the 30 times 13, which becomes 390. 39 is the Knight of Cups, one who gives love to all. 1 year plus 1 month less 5 days is what the real year is, right? Or is it less 5 days? So it's 1 year plus 25 days, except guys, this year coming up is a leap year. So it's actually 1 year, 1 month is 24 days. 1 year, 24 days. Then I was getting 1 year is 12. 1 month is 30. 1 day, 24. 1 hour, 60 minutes, right? So we have the numbers 12, 30, 24, and 60. So here we have those numbers coming up again, you see? 30 and 60. And then, of course, 12 of the old and the 24 of the old, the omega, the karma ending. 12, 30, 24, 60, which come up in the sixes numbers, by sixes. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, etc. And they always land on the 30, 60, 90. They complete the cycle. 12 to 13 is what makes the difference. The end of 12, karma as we know it, in the quantum leap to the leap year, 2020. 2019 to 2020, today is the 24th, right? We just went into the new galactic year. So we're talking galactic years now. Not longer the calendar year, but the galactic years. So in speaking 2019 to 2020, 2019 adds up to 12, or 12-3. 2020 doesn't go to the 13. It resets back to 4. You see that? 2019 adds up to 12, but we don't go to 13 next year. We go to 4. It resets into a major arcana, number 4, the Emperor, which takes us back to the 3 to 4 relationship, the Empress to the Emperor, the third leg to the fourth leg of the race. The 3 goes to the 4, the Empress to the Emperor. It represents the 12 to the 13, okay, in dying and going into the quantum leap. The Empress to the Emperor in the quantum leap, which was reaching out in etheric realms, that's the quantum leap, to connect, so that the Emperor can then ground it and bring it back down to Gaia. The third leg to the fourth leg of the race, grabbing the feminine's baton and then grounding it into Gaia. 12 3D world or life. So the first 2 batons had to do with the old world, the 3D world, the old 12 cycle. The first 2 batons of your relay race. 3 is the feminine's awakening to pass to the 4 of the Emperor, grounding the awakening and bring it in to 4th base, the home run. A gentleman must knock on the front door. He must be polite, kind, loving, and genuine. The 8-8 is the Lion's Gate. The stallions, Arabians, and stags are let out of the gate. They must get to the 4th baton, home base, before the gate closes, 12, 12, 12, all right, of this year. This is the last time that the year will be all 3 numbers the same, 12, 12, 12, because as we go on, we're going back to a 4 year. So it's going to start over the cycle again. You will no longer have, numbers up in the 12s and 13s. We will never have a 13, 13, 13 because it doesn't work there in our old way of counting time. So this year is 12, 12, 12. Also, we note 12, 21, 12 because there's 9 days between there, right? 9 is the hermit, the wise one, the collective consciousness, the completion point, the compassion. Also, we have that 12, 12, 12 adds up to 36. But if you add 12, 21, 12, that's 45. So 36 is coming up as the heavyweight, or Metatron, and 45 is coming up as the lightweight, or Archangel Michael. So it's like the masculine and the feminine energies. They're representing that because Metatron's looking over the masculine, Michael's looking over the feminines. So we toggle to the 9, the difference between them, the masculine and the feminine, Metatron and Michael, the heavyweight and the lightweight. The difference between them is the 9, the compassion, the completion, the consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the quantum leap, which is in the hands of the feminine because she's in control of the 5D gate, the etheric realms, and he's in control of the 3D gate, the 4D bridge on this side of things, Gaia. So then February 14th to February 29th comes up because it is a leap year. February 29th is that leap year day. And the 14th, the Valentine's Day, through that is the fortnight that needs to come up here. Setting up tent or camp or home comes up during that time. Allow the universe to take you there, just like a dream. Okay, is that coming up from Madonna? Just like a dream, you are not what you seem. Just like a prayer, I'll take you there. Allow the stampede that's coming in at Lionsgate, once they're let out, to come your way. Allow the stampede to take you there. So listen. Right after that, I went up top here to write that 12, 12, 12 down on the end of 3D then. So the end of 3D officially is coming up as 12, 12, 12. So we've been out of 3D for a while. But the collective is not, so they're coming there. So this is like our official end, like really end, because we can't end 3D really until we at least start our unions, okay? So I was getting 3 strikes power play also with the angels, the devils, and the tower. So we're talking about 12 and 13. Now we're talking 14, 15, 16. The angels and the devils and the tower. Okay, the tower is right? The drama, the explosion, the epiphanies that need to happen to level everything, that disaster, the wars that create a clean, fresh new start. 3 strikes, you're out, power play, okay? So I want to describe this to you because the 13 is the bridge, 12 is the 3D, 13 is the bridge to 5D, angels of 14, the temperance card, which is literally the angels. Can be baseball as well. So like a catapult, for an example, into space, when the space shuttle goes up, then expansion becomes, right? You catapult the ship into space, take a lot of power to get it there. But once you get into space, it's peaceful. There's no more chaos all of a sudden. Spontaneous peace. Blast off is 2 negatives, instead of added together, 2 negatives multiplied to crazy amount, like a spaceship being launched, equals a positive. Okay, the positive. 2 negatives multiplied. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying, all right? So this is coming up from Greece. Greased lightning, and actually the combination of 5 and 8 is considered greased lightning in numerology from the divine triangle. And you're multiplying from the earth to go to the stars, the moon, and the sun. So once we get past the bridge of 13, the 14 of the 5D and the angels, we shoot to the moon, right? We have the 15 and the 16 getting the angels in the spaceship, exponentially using energy to get to the stars, the moon, and the sun, to the etheric realms, okay? So this was very important and very cool, actually. We're not finished yet. We've got a bunch more here. So we turn the page, it's 1253. 1253, guess what, is the catapult. 53, that's the Knight of Swords. 12 is the Hangman, being catapulted into outer space. Lost in space. The space shuttle, 69. 369 we're talking about here? Well, what was put out into space in 1969? The space shuttle from the 3D world here on Earth. We went to the moon in 369. All right? So there are 3 parts. I'll get to that in a minute. Let me get this stuff first. So the galactic year this year is 2019 to 2020. So we're going from the 12 to the 13. We're going from except the 13 becomes the Emperor because it gets reduced next year, from the Hangman to the Emperor. So the Hangman, Jesus, becomes his Emperor. Jesus takes his crown, the 2,000 years. The Promised Land, Bruce Springsteen. Before 2020 hindsight. 12, 12, 12 equals 36. And 1231, 2019 equals 55. 36 is the 10 of Wands, the end of the burdens, and 55 is the Ace of Swords. The truth is here. So then we get, so that's also a fortnight, 1212 to the 1231. Then we go to Valentine's Day again, 2020. Valentine's Day to 229 is another fortnight. Okay, we have the 20 of the 214, 2020, to the 35 of the 229, 2020. 20 is the Judgment card, and 35 is the Wounded Warrior, or Mary Magdalene. So February 29th, the leap day of next year, of this new life, of Jesus's next 2,000 years, his promised land to you, the first day of that is considered 35 because it's the cosmic leap. He takes his crown prior to the official inauguration. 2/29, 2020 is 35 in honor of Wounded Warrior Mary Magdalene. All right, so this is Jesus. Jesus comes into office from 12/12 to 12/31, 2019. Okay, and then the official inauguration comes in at Valentine's Day, coming through that fortnight to the leap year. And that leap is literally in honor of Mary Magdalene from Jesus. Then we come to July 24th of 2020 next year. That's the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, like I explained to you already. It also adds up to 35. So here we are. Jesus is honoring Mary Magdalene on February 29th, and then honoring her again by the opening ceremonies of the Olympics 2020, 35. That's July 24th. And what is today, guys? July 24th. So 24, again, is the Queen of Wands. It is the Omega, the end of karma as we know it. Opening ceremonies, 2020 Olympic Games, through August 9th, 2020, which, by the way, is my parents' anniversary. And it adds up to number 21, completion around the world. Compliments of my parents, closing ceremonies, August 9th. August 8th, of course, is Lionsgate 2020. And that adds up to 20, right? So like February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day next year and Lionsgate next year, both add up to 20. Major announcements or calls or call-outs, okay? So Lionsgate next year and Valentine's Day next year are some major announcements and call-outs going on. Very cool. April 4th, 2020, which is 444, which equals 12, again, ending the old cycle. The old officially closed. I'm getting the gate of the old is officially closed. It starts 12-12-12 and it ends 4-4-4. The opening and closing of the old life. Okay? So then 12-21, 2020 to 12-12, or 12-12, 2020 to 12-21, 2020 is that next, 9-day difference of the masculine and feminine energies. Well, 12-12, 2020 adds up to 28, which is the twin flames, and 12-21, 2020 is none other than 37, the King of Cups, unconditional love. Okay? So on 12/31 of 2020, and I wanted to bring this up in 2020 next year, not only just this year's stuff, but next year, because 12/21, 2020 is the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which is specific to me because my birth chart, it's conjunct in Capricorn. So it's very specific to what my mission is, okay? So 12/21, 2020 is the 37, the unconditional love of the King of Cups, which then translates to December 31st, 2004, because that's also 37. So we have the 21st to the 31st, but also the 12 to the 31 being that, between them, halfway between them is actually the fortnight to the 31st, which is, again, the 37 of unconditional love. So the fortnights are important here for some reason, the 2 weeks of things, which is also the half moon. It's the pi. That's why it's important. Okay. They're just telling me. All right, so the circle, which is human embodiment of source energy, with the line through it, which is the diameter and measuring pi, your piece of the pie, also for me is symbolic of the half moon, right? Because the circle is the full moon or the new moon. For me, it's the full moon when I write it down like that. But the line through it indicates the half moon cycle. But it's also pi, okay? So ascending from twin flames at that time, so we go from the 28 on 12/12/20 of the twin flames to 12/21, which takes us from twin flames to 37, unconditional love, the 5D shift. That's where we're actually in the fifth dimension. Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, 0 point, space, peace, neutral, or in other words, the spaceship in outer space, floating on air, which then goes through to 555 of 2021, the next year. Okay, so I was getting specifically, we'll be floating on air for that whole year, okay? On a wing and a prayer, all right? But then I get, this was very important too. So I was getting these, there's 3 parts to the union, okay, to the physical union. And there are 3 waves going to the 4. So we go from the 3rd to the 4th leg of the race. And it's leapfrog. This is a leap year. So it's literally showing me that the waves and the parts of the unions come in like leapfrog. So let's say the first group takes 3 years to complete the union. And that doesn't mean you won't be together, living together. It just means there's 3 parts of the union and how it's acclimated. and I was getting 3 years, so it's 1, 2, 3, and it can even reference 1, 2, 3 months, but I was getting 3 years, so we'll see how that goes. And that can actually be the 3 years that we've already done, then go into this new cycle. But it's like a leapfrog where the first wave is 1, 2, 3, and so the second wave comes in 2, 3, 4, and the third wave is 3, 4, 5. And so of course the first wave is a very big wave, and then there's 2 smaller waves of younger people that are still awakening now, okay? So don't feel like you're going to be left behind. Nobody's left behind. There's definitely these 3 waves and 3 parts of the unions coming together, and it's like it's like no one else's unions so far, okay? So you have to understand that. The 3 to the 4 is it's like integrating the feminine energies into the masculine energies as the 3rd leg to the 4th leg of the race, which is home base, the union, okay? The sexual connection. But I just told you the stallions are being let out of the gate this year on 8/8. They have like a time limit in order to bed you, basically. And it's not about sleeping with your masculine. It's about it has to be on them. They're challenged to have sex with you, but in order to have sex with you, they have to be right. You know, they have to have done the work. They have to be honest with you. They have to want to make a difference. And, you know, they can't offer you, you know, half-assed promises. They have to come forth in their full truth. This is the point. So when they come as a gentleman and not someone who wants to use you for sex, and even though you may want them to use you for sex, then that's still your wounding, and you have to allow them to come in a proper way to receive you at the front door, you know, and be honorable to you. You want your knight in shining armor, well, then you have to allow him to be that. All right? So this is very important because they're showing me that, you know, they have this timeline between August and 12/12 to get their crap together, to come to you in the right way, to come into physical union. And you don't have to worry. It's no fear. This is happening. But now it's on the masculines that they have to do their part. And if they don't, you know, the universe is going to kick their butts to get them there. Okay? So there's no fear involved here. But I was definitely getting those cycles will happen in a 5-year period from this year, the galactic year. So this year is 19 to 20. So it's 7, 23 or 4, whatever it was, to the next year. And that will end up in 2024. All right? So, and mind you, July 22nd, 2024, which will be like the last day of that galactic year, adds up to 37. So it was confirming that for me, connecting the 37 of the 12/21/20 and the 12/31/2020 to the July 22nd, 2024. They're all 37s, the King of Cups, unconditional love, so they're very much connected. So if you have any questions about that or comments, please let me know below. I'm very sure of the energy I was getting through here. It was very clear to me. And I've been telling you all along that the masculines are the 3D gate holders, the feminines are the 5D gate holders for the 4D bridge. And it's basically, you know, you can't leave your post until everybody gets through the bridge to the 5D. So now the gate opens here for the masculines to all of a sudden come through on 8/8, and this is their time to really rise to the occasion and come through for you. So that was pretty cool. So ascending from the twin flames to unconditional love. So you're going from one status of twin flame to twin flames in unconditional love, the 5D. The 5D shift, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, 12/21/2020, 0 point, space, peace, neutral. Just think of yourself floating in outer space, right? That's peace. Floating on air. So you at least have 1 year of completely just floating on air in your relationship, really enjoying each other. It's 5/5/5 to 2021. All right, but then you're still integrating the connections and helping others integrate theirs through 2024. So make sure you understand that. So recently here is the 5 of Orbs reversed, which was the end of the war, laying down the swords, apologies and congratulations. What happens at the end of the war? Those are the kind of things that happen. Everyone's celebrating. And I didn't even realize until I was after I finished this read, I went to lie outside in the sun for a little bit, because PTSD comes up again, because it's post-war trauma, that we all have PTSD, because we all had things that we were traumatized in our childhood or whatever it was in our adulthood, or in past lives, whatever it is, in your lineage, that have affected who we are today. So whether you feel like you have PTSD or not, we've all gone through it, and we do have it. You may have cleared it now, but just be aware of that. Celebrations coming together to expose all, and for some, in a tell-all book of many perspectives. Hanging out with kids in the sun, summertime blues, angel Blu-rays, music, fun, barbecues, etc. The King of Pentacles upright, frustrated with the Empress reversed, with happy family, look at all that we have, grounding and integrating boredom, feeling sorry for themselves, ignoring love given, now that the worst is over, of pain and bleeding out. Dealing with the aftermath, post-war trauma, PTSD, and confusion of where to go from here. The foundation is the Ten of Swords reversed again. We had a double here. The worst is over with a split with lies and videotapes. The BS of the Emperor dumping on others or purging overwhelmed. The Emperor amidst cutting out the crap, the fat, the trimming down, stuff and fat, attachments that no longer serve, and dumping partners who also no longer resonate. So before I go on, I am going to show you the board. And I want to make clear that the Emperor and Empress here can represent the masculine and feminine, but they also can represent parents at the same time. So, and they definitely do, in my opinion. Okay, so we have the underlying energy here of that Nine of Pentacles. Recent past is that Five of Orbs, which is also reversed energy. Foundation is the Ten of Orbs reversed, so that the worst is over. And then the Sage of Crystals, which is that Queen. You can barely see her, right? She's hiding. Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then challenged by the Empress reversed, or the Abundance card. And that's reversed also, lack, and that can definitely be a karmic and their mother. So then we have the other underlying energies over here, and you see the Queen of Pentacles reversed, along with the Moon and the Queen of Cups reversed beneath that, and some sneaky stuff going on, okay, with imbalances. So crowning the masculine is that Judgment card, which is upright, and you see the Empress reversed there again. Bridging across to the near future is Five of Crystals. Five of Crystals. That is reversed. That's definitely recovering, practically or financially, for the masculine. Then we have how he sees himself. The Six of Cups is upright today. We got all the romance angel cards there, the underlying energies and the ones pulled. And then around the masculine, or how he's seen, is the Justice card reversed. Going up here to the blocks he needs to clear of the Guidance card there, which is like the Hierophant. The number cards there, which I showed the numbers today because they were more specific for me. Then I want to show them the 77 99s, as well as the 18 and the 81. 81 in the Divine Triangle numerology book is the end of the cycle. After that, you get to choose how you want to do things. Okay, it's not up to God anymore. Okay, because you've proven yourself. It's like graduation. Then we have the Two Wands, the Twin Flames, which was upright today. The World reversed, and the Knight of Swords above that was upright. And then the Indigo card, which is like the Magician above that, which was reversed energy today. We have the Love card, Environment, and the rest of the clarifiers. Okay. All right, here. All righty, so let's finish this guy up here. So the Emperor may be falling for their twin, or the Emperor father thinks his son is a fool for falling for the twin. Okay? And or a fool for his kids, the masculine, or dumping the past, or all dumping the past. Centrally is the Queen of Pentacles reversed, moving out presently from marriage or Taurus or the establishment, religion, tradition, or Taurus and Leo being strong, or Taurus is strong as the Queen of Pentacles reversed leaves, or one doing the grunt work while the other is out and about spending more money. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, because he's upright. Taurus and Leo come up in that center area, with Taurus, Leo staying home, and Sagittarius person leaving. King of Pentacles may be jealous, insincere, or just not being loving, although he's upright, with the Leo and or kids, or in the wake of exposure of a situation. The challenge being the Empress reversed, disconnected, healing, resting, and meditating, now that the war is over, with the Queen of Cups reversed, who fell from grace into Magician reversed, holding on to his money and stuff. Okay, so that can represent, I'm not going to tell you who the characters are. They can be anyone, because they can be karmics dealing with the masculine as well, and the mother. The Empress can be the mother or the karmic, and the Queen of Cups could be anyone. It could be the divine feminine, it could be the karmic, it could be a sister or a friend that's involved as well, okay? But they're definitely all reversed in that central area. The Queen of Cups is reversed, the Empress is reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles is reversed. The other two queens were upright, but not in the central area there. But it could definitely be the foolishness of the feminine falling for the manipulativeness of the masculine, but it also can be the, also I was getting the karmic saying here, you know, I can't believe what an idiot or a fool the divine feminine is falling for the masculine's BS, right? So there's all sorts of dynamics there. So however it fits for you. But Queen of Cups is all about the water signs. So Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And then the Empress can be anyone, but she is Taurus energy. But that doesn't mean it's a Taurus. It can be anyone. And then the Queen of Pentacles, of course, is earth signs. So Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So in continuing about all that stuff, another situation is after the war that the Queen of Cups reversed is healing her heart, falling for master manipulator who's all about money or being Scroogey and won't share, whether it's stuff, feelings, money, whatever. Or the Queen of Cups pushed the fool and he got hurt and had to let go of some funds and now is on guard about her. The Queen of Cups reversed can be the Empress reversed or a mother and daughter who are pissed at each other. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Virgo involved there. There's no one who's in the right because they're all reversed. The Fool reversed, the Magician reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, the Empress reversed. Jealousy, insincerity, lack of love exposed by the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands lying to or cutting through the bullcrap. All right, so the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands were upright. They weren't reversed, but that doesn't mean they're telling the whole truth either. They could be better than the other ones in the situation, but it was definitely getting, and that can just be her movement as well, the Queen of Wands, or the Knight of Wands could be another person. But the Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands lying to or cutting through the crap of this Queen of Wands reversed and the Empress reversed. And then I see the Bull going, huh? Like, what? What did I do, right? So the Bull on the left is looking left. Hatari Devil Detox. Out of Africa, prejudices. Somebody went on safari to understand and bridge the gaps, and that can be figurative, doesn't mean they had to have gone to Africa, but someone went on safari to understand and bridge gaps, and MASH units as well, helping the poor, or aid stations, like pulling venom from the bite, making restitution for wrongdoings right. Judgments, wake-up calls, announcements, and kids at camp or vacations, as well as rehabs and retreats. So maybe to learn something about other cultures and how people live. Also now, for the masculine, is crowning, the lotus blossoming. The Empress reversed, knowing and doing nothing about it, not telling or expressing, tripping up, breaking patterns, dropping facades, to get to the point, the X. X marks the spots. So we're talking about the X obviously here. We're getting to the point. So the X, having known everything about the feminine and never revealed, actually probably deleted texts, emails, whatever came through, and probably did spell work or some kind of destruction or some kind of mischievous around the feminine's property as well, or had people do it for her. PIs can be up there too, but receiving knowledge and ignoring it so it will go away, coming clean about sneakiness and half-truths, and worlds being upside down of the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Empress reversed is coming through as judgmental Aquarius and or Taurus, Aries, Gemini, or Virgo. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed is coming up as that fire sign, the Sagittarius and Leo. Impatient with happy family, jealousy exposed and losing their temper, about choosing the path of twins coming together, of the masculine, and the 5D, and then keeping quiet about it. So she's probably pissed at the masculine, finding out that everything that the feminine was talking about was true and that he was lying. So the Queen of Wands split or lied or tortured the Queen of Cups reversed on purpose for vengeful lineage. So this is when they were still having sex, and they may still be having sex now. But when the masculine was having sex with the karmic, this is them saying right now that she was specifically like abusing the masculine sexually to get at the feminine. Purging cycles to find peace at home, dumping attachments and balances, and it's actually kind of making me sick, so sorry about that. Probably makes you sick too. But purging cycles to find peace at home, dumping attachments, imbalances, inequities, debts, chaos. Home was like being in Hatari or Jungle Land. Animals biting, due to revenge energy. The Queen of Cups reversed, detoxing the King of Pentacles, dark night, through 5D release from prison, or someone literally went to prison for stealing or cheating, or they were cheated in death. So someone might have passed and may have been cheated because they deserve better. So the Empress reversed may think the Divine Feminine was a fool for falling for his BS, obviously not understanding the connection of the feminine and the masculine. So soon for the masculine is the 5 crystals, recovering financially because it's reversed, or practically from fighting, competition, expansion, inspired by the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, and the sadness of her. The Page of Wands can be the manipulation as well. The Page of Wands, because you remember, you reflect each other, so you know each other. You know, it's how you guys are. The Page of Wands of dysfunctional family as the masculine, because he saw himself yesterday as the Page of Wands. So he's the Page of Wands, still the little kid of the dysfunctional family or loss of legacy, detoxing the ball and chain, demons, or family ways to align with the twin, doing the work, and this last line was all done at 2:22. Doing the work, working too hard, no matter how hard he fights for it, something's not working. So he's feeling frustrated on the journey, right? Just like the feminine did when she was first learning how to connect and what was real, what wasn't real, what does she believe and what does she know, and that she has it all within herself, just like Dorothy. It was with her all along. He sees himself as the 6 of Cups, otherworldly alignment on a road of discovery. 2:23, we turn the page, is the High Priestess, and the 23 after the 22 of the Fool, we have 2:23 of the King of Wands. The High Priestess, intuition, secret path chosen, left, the Divine Feminine. Pisces energies were all around him and how he sees himself, as well as the sealed Divine Feminine in the world reversed, as well as the kids. Sitting with uncomfortable feelings in order to purge, transmute, needing help, opportunity, possibly alone, but letting go of it, the wound of can't do good on his own, only bad, because he's the bad boy. I can do bad all by myself, but can I do good? So now he needs to release thinking he can't start anything good on his own. Okay, that's a wound. So getting to know each other for the masculine and feminine came up, new love, past life relationships, and make the effort, all for the masculine. It's time for him to make an effort in the physical realms. He is the twin. He sees this about himself. He is the twin through his collective good memories, not the bad ones, the good ones. That's who he truly is, right? The light. Around him is justice reversed, being held over his head, the injustices, the detox, the chaos at work with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, depressed, Aquarius and or Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, and death. Family, heartbreak, separation, and destitution between them, as well as the moon, the full moon, and drinking, crabs, fishy issues, as well as wife swapping and seeing things he didn't ever want to see, the dark side of life, suicides, etc. The masculine is to clear blocks of marriage and guidance, traditions, religion, establishment, Taurus, confessional, dropping the weights, so somebody's working out too much, listening for once, just even to yourself, Divine Masculine. Wake up call. Okay, completion of spirituality came up, but even more so is the leadership and the compassion for others and yourself, not to get caught with pants down and frustrated, needing to burn the past of being thrown away like used toilet paper, or being the servant, the paper boy. Run out for this and that if you want to get some. Okay, so this is about the masculine. If he doesn't want to get caught with his pants down, he has to do something about it now. 2 flames amidst dysfunctional family, jealousy, manipulation, insincerity, no love given. I was just getting Liv Tyler. So that's coming up. What is that? What's the movie where she's up in space? So there's something about that movie maybe you need to watch. But I was just getting Liv real quick. Insincerity, no love given, cheating, stealing, energy vampires, addictions, codependencies, sudden judgments, announcements, wake-up calls to the King of Cups role in the 10 of Cups family. And that doesn't mean he's the masculine. It could be a father, it could be a brother, whatever it is. The King of Cups and the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, and King of Pentacles, Dark Night, transformation. The King of Wands and Queen of Wands jealousy, and Scorpio. The King of Wands always watching him. The Queen of Wands always pretending she doesn't see. Along with the King of Cups, all jealous, dysfunctional family. So it was getting more the King of Pentacles was the masculine here, but it doesn't have to be. The King of Cups could be too. For sure, dysfunctional family was coming up as the King, Queen of Wands, and the Death card. So that could be a Scorpio as well. But the King of Pentacles was attached to the Queen of Cups above, coming up as the feminine. But the King of Cups could be the masculine too. And even the King of Wands could be too. It depends on your situation. So I'll give you some of those different situations here. So the dysfunctional family issues and jealousy were definitely coming up on that Death card and the King and Queen of Pentacles. And they could be all jealous of them. The Queen of Wands always pretending she doesn't see, along with the King of Cups, all jealous, dysfunctional family, expecting to reap the rewards of the Divine Masculine's hard work and efforts. This could be, or it could be the father of the family, that everyone expects him to take care of them all. They could be all different people, but one would be the karmic with the brother and father, and the King of Pentacles, the Divine Masculine. Or the King of Cups is the Divine Masculine, and his brother and sister, and father is the King of Pentacles. Or the Divine Masculine is the King of Wands, and the karmic Queen of Wands with brother and father, or partners, etc. So twins could be the King of Pentacles. Well, like I said, they can be any of them, but Capricorn comes up in Scorpio and Pisces. Just about all about the family jealousies and sudden drama that's always going on around the twin flames. The worlds of the twin flames upside down: grieving, sadness, loss, guilt, and shame, regret of nighttime, rejection, and shyness, sudden abandonment of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn, or Aquarius. The Queen of Cups reversed, trying to get over the King of Pentacles. She could be seen as the King of Cups upright, so the King of Cups upright could be a feminine as well as the sham family throwing them out. Okay, and that's 250. So the masculine's family with the karmic could be throwing both of them out, or if you're with your twin, they could be throwing out, or the family could just be throwing the idea of the twin flames out. That was at 250, which is the High Priestess, and the 50 of the 10 of Cups, which is upright in this read, but I'm definitely getting it's the sham fam, right? The one that looks good on the outside, but not on the in. So we turn the page, it's 251. 2 is the High Priestess. 51 is the King of Swords. The Knight of Swords, the 5D messages, the winged messenger, manipulative and evil at times. Indigo hiding that he rejected. I'm not talking about the messenger that was evil at times, but the 5D energies, okay? Because you're in the etheric realms, what you know, in your connection. So the Knight of Swords, 5D messages, winged messenger, with manipulative and evil energies at times. The indigo hiding that he rejected the Divine Feminine and then used her to get off. She tried not to let him, but she just loved him so sometimes she just couldn't resist. A twisted game of forgiveness. So when the twin flames come together, you could learn to forgive everyone, or in other words, unconditional love. Destiny of running away from negative self-talk, spying, bipolar, ADD, ADHD, running away, going back to where you started from. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Or so that's coming back. Get back, back, back to where you once belonged. Go back to your roots. Running, trying to escape. Fate, can't do it. Creates a vacuum. The safety pin picture that I gave you at one point, I think that was back in April video. So running back and trying to escape, you can run back during the retrogrades because we're supposed to go back to review things or learn things or fix things during the retrogrades. But it's saying if you go back and try to run away from it to escape fate, it creates a vacuum. The safety pin, or even just the retrogrades in general, create that vacuum of stubbornness and negative self-talk. The grounding and integrating of the Divine Feminines of what they're talking about in order to have a sudden understanding, the knowings, the epiphanies about offering a new life, the big gold coin offer, how something good always comes out of something sudden, traumatic, destruction, starting fresh for a new outlook and more gratitude and appreciation for what you have. Just like after the war, how our parents appreciated everything. The wounded warrior, the King of Swords reversed, soldiers after the war, insecure and manipulative, feeling a failure without attention for having been the man, right? They win the war And then after the war, no one even pays attention to them. It's unfair. They fought so hard and get no appreciation afterwards. Just injuries and PTSD and being ignored, left behind. Well, you know the answer to that, guys. There's no victims here. Stand up for yourself. The worst is over. Recover and release yourself from prison and chaos, and release yourself from the blocks. Revenge only ends up one way, and that is down. Powerless and detox of the fall, to peace, to pieces, of lovers when the worst is over, for twins and kids, the injustice or Libra of war over, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, challenged by the abundance reversed, or Taurus, or Empress, mother reversed, or old age problems, recovering commitments and responsibilities, guidance, marriage, Taurus, and final judgments, called to action, announcements about twin flames from another world, worlds upside down, winged messengers, indigo magicians who may be insecure, so don't mess with them. Powerless, dependent on peaceful new start. After the war ended, the worst is over for the Queen of Pentacles reversed, challenged by the Empress reversed, or no abundance. In a final judgment, call or announcement of a divorce, twins and or kids, recovering injustice of societal norms and expectations, religion, tradition, establishment, the patriarchy control, turning it around to make others see our point of view for a change. Indigo charge, power up, blue rays at your service, and that's at 3:10. The Empress, and which is Mother Nature, Gaia. Number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, your destiny, your fate. The blue rays at your service. I'm not going to do any more because we're already late at 26, but you know, it is a big read. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Drink your water, get your rest, rest. Be joyful, go outside and play, have fun. But most of all, just be joyful, be good to yourselves, and have compassion for yourself. Okay? Rise and be loved. Bye.